So we've got our alarm panel. It's completely programmed and ready to go. But you'll notice that I ship it completely turned off. What you need to do is find this little button on the right-hand side of the panel and hold it for 5 to 6 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's our blue light. Now you can put it back in the package because it takes about 45 seconds to boot up. You'll also find in the package this little unit. This is the power supply unit that provides power to the alarm panel. And as we talked about in the last video, you're going to want to locate your panel directly above a receptacle. You can choose the height that works best for you, but 60 inches is kind of the typical height that everybody uses. So let's take our panel and we're going to take our thumb and we're going to pop the back off. So just pull at the bottom, it will release. It's 2 tabs at the top. Pull at the bottom, it releases. Put the panel back in. Now we'll get our level and we will hold our bracket up to the wall. We'll put our level up, get it perfectly level because that's what I like. I don't like things that are not perfectly level. And now I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to mark 1, 2, 3, 4 holes, and I'm going to draw the position of the hole in the backing plate. So now I have that on the wall. I'm going to pull that down. At this point, I'm going to take my drywall saw, and if this were your house and not my house, I'm going to cut out this opening in the back of the wall. So I'm going to cut that out with my drywall saw, just all the way around. A little piece of drywall is going to come out, and that's going to be open to this wall. Now this is an exterior wall, so there's going to be insulation in here. Next, I'm going to go down to my receptacle, and I'm going to make not single sure, not double sure, but triple sure that I've gone out to my breaker panel and I've cut off power to this outlet. In fact, I've come back and I've tested it with a lamp to make sure that it's definitely off, but I don't want anybody getting shocked here. I'm going to remove the screw at the center of the faceplate. And I'm going to set the faceplate on the ground. Now once I do that, be aware that this box is mounted on a stud on either this side or this side. And we're not sure which side it's on. So remember our little drywall saw here? We can try to probe on this side. Oh my, there's a stud there. So we can't go up on the stud. So now we're going to probe on the other side, and I can feel my insulation. And I'm also going to notch just a little bit of the drywall out. The plates give you a 1/4 inch of coverage, okay? So I can notch a 1/4 inch hole up in the corner of this and still get the plate on, and it's still going to cover that. And what that does is that gives us room to use our fish tape. And if you don't have a fish tape, a stiff piece of wire, or you can use a coat hanger. You can be really careful with the coat hanger, just bend it so that that coat hanger will go right up here. So straighten that coat hanger out and you'll be able to fish up this wall. But I'm going to take my fish tape, get out enough fish tape, and then I can just run it right up here in this wall. And with this hole cut right here, I might have to fish back there. I might need some needle nose pliers. Might take me a couple of tries, but I'm going to bring that fish tape out right here. Once I get the fish tape out, there's 2 ways to do it. You can either pull a string back down and use the string to pull your wire up, but my fish tape is plenty long. So then I'm going to tape this to the side of the fish tape and just keep pulling the fish tape up until I pull this through the opening. Once I pull that through the opening, and I've got my wire that goes all the way up the wall, I'm going to take this, and in your kit, is this little package. And it contains a screw for the bracket here, and it contains a tie wrap. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the screw that came with our plate out, Okay. We're going to put our plate back in place. And now using this screw, we're going to plug this in. We're going to take this screw and put it through here, and then we're going to take this cable tie and put it through here. And what that will do, and of course this wire will be running behind the plate up into this hole, so you won't really see that because that wire is going to come, you know, along the back side of the plate. But put that screw in, and that will keep somebody from accidentally unplugging this and disconnecting power to your alarm panel. If the panel does lose power, it does squawk at you and let you know and send you an alert that, hey, we've had a power failure. So we're gonna kind of leave that alone. We're gonna go up here, and now we're gonna mount this base with these two tabs facing up. We're gonna verify that it's level, and I've supplied drywall screws and plastic anchors. Now some people on drywall would just screw directly into the drywall and not use the plastic anchors. And some people like me are really funny about things, so they'll actually take the small end of the Phillips head and drill that into the wall, set that anchor, and then put the screw into the anchor. Ironically, since we know the stud's on this side, this screw right here is going to screw right into a stud because we know the stud is right here, right on the side of this hole. This one would need an anchor, this one would need an anchor, and this one would need an anchor. When we get everything anchored up before we really secure it in place, again, we'll take our level, make sure that we're perfectly level, and once we've established that we're perfectly level, then we'll tighten everything up. Well, we're to the final step. Once we've got the bracket mounted, we've got the wire coming through the bracket. The only thing that's left to do now is to plug in our alarm panel, and we do that by simply taking the barrel connector here, and if you look at the bottom part of the alarm panel, there's a place for the barrel connector to plug in. And you just slide it in, and it plugs right in.
Select arm system type.
And I'm not sure what you're trying to do. And then that will mount on here.
Living room window 2, kitchen window, master bridge window 1, VR2 window 1, VR2 window 2, bypass.
So there's our alarm panel. It's now mounted on the wall. It's now powered from the receptacle below it. All of this extra wire just gets shoved back into the wall. It just gets curled up into the wall. I usually pull all the slack up this way and just shove it into the wall behind the panel, and you're good to go. Everything's programmed and it should be working.